The King Kaiju, the King of the Monsters, is back in theaters this weekend alongside King Kong. Let's go back and let's take a re-look, a little bit of a throwback review here, at some of the Monsterverse Godzilla and Kong figures. It's geeking time. I am super excited, guys. I went to see Godzilla -1 in theaters, and I loved that movie. I thought it was the best movie of 2023. Well, guess what's coming next? This weekend, Godzilla by Kong, the Forbidden Empire, is being released. So I thought to myself, I've taken a look at the Godzilla versus Kong figures in the past. And that was a lot of fun. So I figured, let's go back down memory lane and let's take a look at some of those Godzilla versus Kong figures, plus the two other little Playmates Godzilla figures I have in my collection. I also thought it'd be really neat to take a look at the Blu-rays in the collection as well. I'm super excited for this film. I absolutely did not think I was going to like the Monsterverse when they first released Godzilla in 2014. Thought to myself, oh boy, another Godzilla remake. Already being a fan of the property and not liking the 1998 Godzilla. But here we are, 10 years since that first initial Godzilla remake was released in theaters. Oh my goodness, we are getting Godzilla by Kong, and my god, the Monsterverse has been such an awesome spectacle so far. This one's looking to be like a, superhero type thing with Godzilla and Kong. I cannot wait to see it. So without any further ado, let's get right into this. Well, before we re-look at these Godzilla Playmate figures, including the two random Godzilla villains that are not from the Monsterverse, but I figured it'd be fun to take a look at them and re-look at them as well, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Monsterverse films on Blu-ray as they've gotten to us so far. The first one being Godzilla from 2014, an epic showdown. This movie is so great. If you have not seen this film, I cannot recommend this anymore. You have yourself a read-up of the Godzilla movie on the back, and you got a lot of special features. That's one thing I thought was really cool about this film. A lot of special features in here. You got some explosive new evidence not contained in the film that unravels the massive cover-up to keep Godzilla's existence a secret in Operation Lucky Dragon, Monarch, the Muto File, the Godzilla Revolution, plus get the lowdown on this legendary monster in Godzilla Force of Nature, and more. So this movie says, this spectacular adventure pits Godzilla, the world's most famous monster, against the malevolent creatures that, bolstered by humanity's scientific arrogance, threaten our very existence. By Warner Brothers, it is 2 hours and 3 minutes long. Such a great film. Again, I cannot recommend this film more. The discs inside are just plain black, so there's not much to that. And the code, well, that expired a long time ago, so we don't need those anymore. After that, we had Godzilla. After that, we had Kong Skull Island. If I'm not mistaken, this was the next one after that. I believe this came out in 2018. I'm trying to just take a look here. Anyways, Kong rules again. A team of scientists, soldiers, and adventurers explore an uncharted island in the Pacific, but their mission of discovery becomes the ultimate battle between man and nature when they venture into the domain of the mighty Kong. So there you go. You've got Tom Hiddleston in this movie. And you got Samuel L. Jackson. This one's a really fun film. The special features here, Creating a King, a two-part exploration of the rebirth and recreation of an iconic monster, Monarch Files 2.0, Companion Archive, dive deep, my gosh, I can't speak, into the organization and the Monsterverse mythology, Tom Hiddleston, the intrepid traveler, joined the actor on a tour of the film's breathtaking locations, deleted scenes, director's commentary, and more. This film is 118 minutes, so that's just about an hour and 58 minutes. I'm still trying to see the release date on Kong, if this was right after 2017. So this was right before King of the Monsters. It's a slipcover, same thing. And once again, just got yourself some discs that look like that. You got Kong's print, and then you got a grid over here. And we got a little bit of an ad for Middle-earth, The Shadows of War. So if you're into Lord of the Rings, I don't know why there's a Lord of the Rings preview video game with Kong Skull Island. And after that, we've got Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Still a fantastic film. Probably my favorite out of all the Monsterverse films thus far, especially with the fact that King Ghidorah is in there. This movie here, Long Live the King. Nice picture there. This is on 4K Ultra HD. The only reason why is because when I picked it up at a corner stop for like $10. So I was like, win. Awesome win. When ancient god-sized monsters rise again, the cryptozoological agency Monarch faces Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah as they all vie for supremacy. All the humans in this special features experience a world of stunning visual effects, secret Monarch locations, and monster mythology behind the ultimate battle of titans. Extensive features include Welcome to the Monsterverse, Godzilla 2.0, Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, plus deleted scenes, and then there's commentary. This film is 2 hours and 12 minutes long. Boy, it's a long one. It's a longer film. The slipcover, it's the same thing underneath. And this time around, you've got your Blu-ray and your Ultra HD in colorful discs. A like teal color and a dark blue color. So there you go. As I knock my camera all over the place. So there's Godzilla, King of the Monsters on Blu-ray. And then we have the last one in the Monsterverse. Let me just put these to the side there. Godzilla vs. Kong, which is the most recent film. Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital code. Expires June 2022. So again, expired 2 years ago. Godzilla, Kong there. Who will win? Legends collide as Godzilla and Kong, the two most powerful forces of nature, clash in a spectacular battle for the ages as Monarch embarks on a perilous mission into fantastic uncharted terrain, unearthing clues to the Titan's very origins. A human conspiracy threatens to wipe the creatures, both good and bad, from the face of the earth forever. Special features, I think there's a little less on here if I'm not mistaken. Commentary by the director, there's 10 featurettes, over an hour of excitement, including the Phenomenon of Gojira, King of the Monsters, The Evolution of Kong, Eighth Wonder of the World, Round 1, Battle at Sea, Round 2, One Will Fall. And this film is only 113 minutes, so that's an hour and 53 minutes. So there we go. Slip cover, same thing on the inside, and then our discs. Basically our standard looking discs for these films. Nothing too much to it. Oh, wait, and look at that. Get your favorite films for $19.99. 4 films, my gosh. Giant monsters, those are the best kind of films, except for Rampage. Thought I was going to like that film, but Rampage, you can't just put The Rock in a film, Dwayne Johnson, and put Dwayne Johnson in something and expect it to be that good. Now, of course, you do have the original King Kong versus Godzilla, which I think that was the spark of the reason for the whole Godzilla versus Kong originally on. This is the DVD version I have. I do have the Blu-ray in the Godzilla Criterion Collection for the Showa era. That's something I will be looking at coming soon, but that is just to give you a look at what the original Godzilla versus King Kong versus Godzilla looks like. That's what I've got on DVD. So there you go. That is a look at the Monsterverse. Next, we're going to take a look at all the little figures. Well, we're going to re-review them. I'm not going to go into all this massive detail to make this a long video. At least I hope not. But before we do so, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll take a look at the figures from the Monsterverse. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
The mightiest monsters of the ages. King Kong. Godzilla. Locked in the most titanic battle of all time.
I have such an abundance, such a slew of Godzilla figures right here, right now. I tried to get them all into camera. They were spread out and they weren't appearing too well, so I just had to bunch them all up. One thing I realized too, by the way, is that before I called it Godzilla by Kong, the Forbidden Empire, it's no, Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. That's the movie coming out this weekend, so all right. With that stupidity out of the way, let's take a look at each of these figures. I also have one big massive one to take a look at after. Now they're probably going to be outside of the screen or awkward looking to the screen because I want to kind of do some basically scaling and see what the size of these things are. Because that was the one thing that I did not do in the original review for these things, is that I did not measure them to see how tall they are. So your Skullwalker, first things first, let me see if I can move. let me move this guy out of the way quickly. The Skullwalker, which again is not really showing up too well on camera. So when we just like that, standing, he is just over 1 inch, but it's more of the lengthways that you gotta measure him. So lengthways, am I on the right thing? Lengthways, he's about, oh, he's a good 12 inches about. So that's, wow, that's crazy. So he's about 12 inches, and then you got Godzilla. The other Godzilla over here, off to the camera, you can't really see. They're going to be the same size, the same height. So Godzilla is about, just about 5.5 inches. Then you've got King Kong himself, who is going to be, same thing, about 6 inches. So they're all about the same height then, these figures. Space Godzilla, they're falling all over the place too. Space Godzilla is about 6.5. And let's bring back in, got so much stuff here. Let's bring back in, and he is, oh, almost 7 inches. So they're pretty tall figures, pretty good figures. All right, I'm just gonna, what I want to do here is I don't want to have them all on camera so that I can take up the whole frame. What I kind of want to do is just basically review one by one. Not take too long in reviewing one by one, however, because I don't want this to be the longest video ever conceived. So we'll review the characters themselves. I don't know if I'm getting him to. I'm fidgeting with the bat thing off camera, and everything's falling off of him. All right, so we're gonna review these one by one. Just take a look at the articulation and everything, and see what these figures are like. Going to start off with these two here. Let's just move them back. Well, the reason why we're going to start off with these two here is because these are more of, I guess you could call, like, I don't know why he's not standing properly. Am I not doing this? Oh, I don't think I'm doing this properly. These are what you call more of the throwaway monsters. They were, okay, so I guess he's just not standing properly. I don't know. These were like in the movie for like a couple of seconds, and that's why I'm just gonna show these off quickly. I don't know, that winged, that bat thing is not moving properly. All right, so let's do it first. Let's take a look at the war bat. This is what this thing looks like. This was from Godzilla vs. Kong, the first film. So his jaw is supposed to hinge up and down, but not really doing anything. As you saw me fidgeting around with before, his tail does move around. Oh, you know what I'm realizing to myself now? I wasn't doing it fully properly, that's why. You're supposed to put, there you go. The tail is supposed to go, I think, you're supposed to align the tail. This war bat, if his tail wants to comply, you're supposed to align it so that he stands up properly, but still, nope, still doesn't want to do it. Nope, doesn't want to do it. But his wings, the wings flap, and they're also removable, so you can take it off and put that right back on. The reason why I'm doing this is because the last review, I didn't do all this. I just showed off the figures. And he's got this piece here, if it wants to come off, it doesn't want to be stubborn. There you go. That shows a little bit of a battle damage for the war bat. And basically that's what he looks like. Just like basically he's a winged serpent. Something straight out of your nightmares. So there's the war bat. I'm just going to lay him down, just like that. And then we have the skull crawler. This one's a little bit cooler. Looks really nice in design. So his tail does pop off, and you can put the tail right back on. So it's on a ball joint, and it will move around. Let's get into the look of the skull walker. You would think that the head would move, but no. There's his face. The jaw opens and shuts. Opens and shuts, revealing the inside of his mouth. You got his arms here that go out and in. They go all the way around. And then the elbows here move in and out. And that's pretty much it in terms of articulation. He too comes, he's very detailed as well. Sorry, let me just show the detailing. And he stands really well too. So like if you just want to stand him, he stands on his arms, or he or she stands on their arms. So it's very easy to pose the skull walker. And then the skull walker comes with battle damage. You see this little piece right here. You're just going to pop that right off. So that comes off. And then you got a battle damage feature. Kind of reminds me of the old Jurassic Park toys. When we were kids, they had those features where you were able to remove the pieces from them to show off battle damage. That's basically what that reminded me of. So pretty decent. There's the War Bat and the Skullcrawler. Of the two, I'm not going to lie to you, this thing, okay, it's cool. It was in the movie for 2 seconds, so was the Skullcrawler. But at least the Skullcrawler is more synonymous with Kong. So I do like this thing a lot. And it does make for a cool piece on display in the collection. So, very nicely detailed for a Playmates toy. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Again, this is from the same company that make the Ninja Turtles toys. Go ahead and move these two out of the way, and we'll bring in the next character. I guess since it's Godzilla, we'll start off with a Godzilla, a regular Godzilla. So let's bring Godzilla in. This is the classic look of Godzilla from the Monsterverse. Sorry, I'm just trying to get him into camera. Let me just move the camera down a bit. There we go. There's our King of the Monsters. All right, with measurements out of the way, we don't need to take a look at how tall Godzilla is. But this one's a lot of fun. This one normally came last time around when I took a look at him. He came with a tower. Some of the accessories for these ones are all over the place, so I didn't bring all the accessories with me today. But he looks great, and his jaw does not really move or anything. The arms on him move all the way around. I'm just going to try to move that out of the camera. There we go. All the way around his arms. And his legs go front and back. That's pretty much it. And then his tail as well, Godzilla's tail, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, plugs in like that. There you go. It's on a ball joint, so you can just move it around like that. And he too has the battle damage gimmick right there. So it looks pretty neat on him. It just looks like a lightning bolt on his chest hit him. I'm not sure why they put the battle damage, because in the movie itself there is no actual battle damage. So I don't know. I digress. I really digress. Let's bring in the other Godzilla to compare him with. And that's going to be this Godzilla right here. Same looking Godzilla, basically. The only difference on this Godzilla is going to be the coloring and the translucent dorsal plates. Except for this Godzilla here, you'll see his jaw. His jaw opens and closes. Opens and closes. He's also got the battle damage. Same color on the inside for the battle damaging, so same looking light bolt. But he's a lot darker, so because this is supposed to be at night, and he's got these really, really nice translucent blue dorsal plates. And with this Godzilla here, basically, you're supposed to open up the jaw, and you just put the atomic breath right into him, like that. So like that, he's giving off the effect that he's giving off the atomic blast. So really cool with the fact that you can do that with that Godzilla. This one here just came with a little tower, so he's crushing. I just wish that this Godzilla can close his mouth, but no, it's open. But this Godzilla looks really nice. Personally, between the two, my favorite is the darker Godzilla. Okay, I don't really need to show off this Godzilla's articulation because it's the same thing as this Godzilla here. So let's move them out of frame and let's grab King Kong. King Kong. There he is. King Kong. And this one looks really good. Where's his battle damage feature? Does he have one? Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. So Godzilla. I mean, King Kong, sorry. With a nice menacing look right there on his face. His head moves all the way around, but it's not on a ball joint, so it just rotates all around like that. Very nice looking design and sculpt on him. His legs go front and back, and he's got knee articulation. And then you can move the leg like that as well. Same thing for the arms, go all the way around, out, in. Then there's an elbow hinge, and you can move the fist around, especially the open. Actually, no, the open hand doesn't really want to move. And then the battle damage feature is right here on Kong. Wants to come off. Come on. Battle damage, there we go. So we got that battle damage right there. And there's his piece of battle damage. And then Kong himself, come on, go back in there, giving me difficulty. And Kong himself comes with his club, his makeshift club that you see him use. I think he only uses it once in the movie. And super furry. And then you got a King Kong bomb right there. Well, Kong. It's not King Kong. It's Kong. It's Kong. And that's what our King of the Skull Island looks like. Very nice looking figure. Very, very, very nice looking figure. So let's move him out. I have one last figure to look at from the Monsterverse line. This is a big boy. This guy here I was not supposed to get. I was supposed to get the regular version of this one. But I think Amazon sent me the wrong one. but it's a pleasant surprise. He's so big that, I don't know. I gotta move and shift the camera. That's how big this figure is. There we go. We got Mecha Godzilla. This thing is pretty cool, very articulated. Sorry, down from the tail. Tail moves all the way around. And this one too, the tail pegs in, but I already put it in, so I don't want to take it back out again. Let me just, here, I'm gonna have to move my camera here. You got the face right here. And it looks pretty good, the detailing on the face. We got all the red and gray dorsal plates. In terms of articulation, okay, let me do this quickly because he's so damn big. So the arm goes back, just goes forth a little bit like that. This shoulder part is blocking him. His hands open up and turn all the way around. And then his legs just move front and back like that. And there's a little bit of a pivot in his foot. You would think that the legs bend, but they don't. They're in a permanent position. But again, the detailing on this thing, the sculpting on this thing looks very nice. Very well made. Good looking figure, albeit it's a really massive figure. I don't know, when I got this figure here, I don't know why. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, just a really big boy. And he looks super, super good. Honestly, he looks really great with the collection. Gonna move him out of the way. We got two left to look at. These are not really from the Monsterverse, but I just want to show these guys off since they were part of the whole Playmates line of, they're from the Playmates line of Godzilla figures. These are from some older Godzilla movies. So what we got here, there we go, just move that down a little bit. There we go. So whom we have here is Space Godzilla and... Destroya! Let's take a look at Space Godzilla first. He looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. He's my second favorite of all the Godzilla figures out of the Playmates. So again, same thing. The tail rotates here at the bottom. Got all the crystallization there. His head turns all the way around. His arms barely move, but that's because of how chunky he is. The legs go like that, and then there's a foot swivel there. But he looks like he's straight out of the Godzilla versus Space Godzilla film. Yeah, he looks really great, and I love the metallic painting right there on Space Godzilla. His tail is super long, by the way. So he looks nice. And then we have our big old devil kaiju. Destroya! That's always fun to do that. If you've never seen Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, go check it out. They do a whole Godzilla-thon. So, for one last time, as we take a look at Destroya! This guy here, his head moves slightly back and forth. The tail moves all the way around and double move. His wings do move up and down. So you can have him with the wings down. You can have him with the wings all the way up. It's up to your discretion. The arms are the same thing, like they barely move because of the way he's sculpted. And the head like barely moves around as either. Foot goes front, foot goes back, and then the foot goes all the way around. And our big old demonic kaiju looks fantastic. This one's probably my favorite of all the Godzilla figures I have. Well, I mean, that are from Playmates, because he just looks incredible. I know, okay, they probably could have done a little more on these figures in terms of like detailing and stuff, but for basic little Playmates figures, these things look phenomenal.
Godzilla, a new breed of terror. Godzilla storms with a thundering smash and tail slash. But can it match Cyber Godzilla, shocking the Heat Team with cyber missile fire? Breathing doom, Godzilla's out to short-circuit the cyber monster menace. In the fight for ultimate Godzilla might, who will rule? Only you can decide. Godzilla, Cyber Godzilla, and human action figures, each sold separately.
This is going to be our complete look today at the Godzilla vs. Kong re-reviewing for these figures with Godzilla by Kong, the new Empire coming out in theaters this weekend. I don't know. I think there's a certain charm to these little Playmates figures. I know that they're not like the higher end scale figures, and I know NECA has put out so many nice Godzilla figures. And now, unfortunately, Super 7 has the license, which makes me a little sad because I find that Super 7 is expensive for nothing. Whereas NECA, they were decently priced, the Godzilla figures, and they put out a lot of nice figures of Godzilla. But now Super 7, they're going on and they're putting out all these overly overpriced Godzilla figures. I don't want to spend close to $100 for Godzilla from Super 7 when it looks the same thing as when NECA put them out and they were charging 35 to 40 bucks for a Godzilla figure. Where's the logic in that? I don't see the logic. I'm not the biggest fan of Super 7, unpopular opinion, because I find that their products, albeit they're nice, but their products are just overcharged and way too pricey for no reason at all. But I'm not here to talk about Super 7 as we go out. What are your thoughts on the Playmates toys? Did you collect any of these for your collection? Did you collect the new line of Godzilla, Kong, the new Empire Playmates figures? If so, let me know down below. I'm not planning on collecting those ones because I already got the Godzilla versus Kong figures here. I'm super happy with these guys. I don't need any more of the Playmates figures. Like I said, I also have I also have Destroya, and I also have Space Godzilla, so that's a lot of fun. If I do get myself a Godzilla from Playmates, maybe in the future, if I ever see one, it would probably be Godzilla -1. But like, apart from that, I think I'm very much set and happy with the Godzilla versus Kong figures that they came out with. This is now 3-4 years ago, I would think. So I'm really happy with this line, and they still hold up today. If you put them in the set with the Godzilla versus Kong New Empire figures, they probably hold up really, really well. The only difference is that you're going to have yourself a King Kong now, probably with that metallic arm on him. That being said, are you planning on going to see Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire this coming weekend? Have you already seen an early preview of it, an early sneak preview, an early screening? Let me know down below if you plan on seeing it, and if you have seen it, what your thoughts were on the movie. I absolutely love Godzilla -1, and I love the Monsterverse films. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, so I absolutely am looking forward to seeing the New Empire. We are going to take a look at some more Godzilla stuff on this channel. It is the 70th anniversary of the Big King Kaiju. I am going to be taking a look very soon at the complete Showa era Blu-ray set. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my videos like you always do. I appreciate your support, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Every one of you guys who have been with me since the beginning, down to every single one of you guys who have been with me since 1 second ago. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. However, if you are brand new to my channel, please and thank you, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell to be notified whenever I got some brand new content out. If you did enjoy this video, put a thumbs up. And let's, comment down below. Let's talk all things Godzilla down in the comments. I'll let you guys go for the day. You probably have some stuff to do. I got some stuff to do, that's for sure. I'll be back again with some more content. Stay cool, stay nerdy, keep hunting, keep collecting, keep watching those Godzilla movies. And as always, it's cool if it's nerd cool. Laters!